this evening and had asked for a recording, so I will do that. And it looks like we're all set. All right, so good evening. Thanks for coming tonight. My name is Sandy DiCarlo, and I'm a PATHe counselor at USF St. Petersburg campus. PATHe stands for Pinellas Access to Higher Education, if you're hearing it for the first time tonight. And basically, we help students in Pinellas County just decide what their goals are as far as higher education. And if it involves St. Petersburg College and USF, we kind of help them along the way, get from one institute to the other, and make sure that they graduate. So thank you tonight. I'm going to introduce some of our other speakers tonight. Jacoby, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks everyone for coming. We're happy to talk to you all and hopefully give you some advice and tips about the transfer experience. But my name is Jacoby Waldron. I'm an academic recruiter advisor for the Office of Transfer Student Success. We're housed at the Tampa campus. So if you're ever on campus, you can find us in the Office of Undergraduate Studies in the Student Services building. But really, we do a lot of things. And so we have a mentorship team. We work with prospective transfer students. And then we also teach a transitions course. And really, for any current transfer students, we just like to help remove barriers or just try to connect you to whoever we can for help. But again, excited to talk to you all later on, and thanks for coming.
Awesome. We also have two USF students tonight who are going to share a little bit about their experience and be happy to answer your questions from a student perspective. Our first student is Christine Grossman. Do you want to just say a little shout out?
Hello, my name is Christine Grossman. I am a senior psychology major. Graduating in December, I transferred from Lake Sumter State College in Leesburg.
Thanks, Christine. We also have Barbara, and I'm going to try to pronounce your last name correctly. Is it Figueiredo?
That's really good. A lot better than a lot of people get the first time. Figueiredo.
There you go.
I have a second-year education major. I am not a transfer student, but I am working, helping out with National Transfer Student Week, and I'd love to answer general questions about the student experience here at USF, especially, you know, perspectives coming in during a pandemic. I lived in the residence halls in fall 2020, which was interesting. But yeah, I'm happy to talk to you all today.
Awesome. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, it's so important to get the student perspective. So I'm really glad. I'm grateful for you both to give us your time tonight. So I have a little presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with just some of the basics and the logistics of transferring. So let me do that. Oh. There we go. Gotta move Barbara over a little. Okay, so we're gonna go with Ready, Set, Transfer. And as Barbara mentioned, it is National Transfer Student Week. So those of you that didn't realize there is such a thing, this is a week where we really celebrate the transfer student. A transfer student has its own unique experience. So there's a lot of things going on this week to celebrate students that have transferred in from other institutions. So the first thing, and I'm going to say the most important thing that we want to cover, are deadlines. Those of you who are currently, and I think everybody on the call tonight is from St. Petersburg College, may not be as familiar with these very strong deadlines. I know at most community colleges, I know SPC, you can do a lot of things last minute. They just make it happen. The structure of the institution is very different than a four-year university. So please keep in mind, if you are going to transfer, you do have to adhere to specific deadlines. So if you are thinking of starting this coming, or students that started this summer, the application deadline was March 1st. So even though classes didn't start until May, the application had to have been done prior to March 1st with all the documentation received by March 15th. If you were looking at starting this fall, then June 1st is your deadline with all documentation coming in by June 15th. And then spring deadline is November 1st, with the application complete by November 15th. But I want you to know that you want to not just make this deadline, you want to be well ahead of the deadline, because your application does go through a series of steps, and they'll be looking at the application information along with your transcripts and other information. So you want to have as much time as possible to be able to submit any missing items, and just be able to follow that application. So again, just know those deadlines are there, but try to get everything in well ahead of time. Now, a lot of people don't realize there are different level transfers. Okay, an upper level transfer is when a student has 60 or more credits, or they've completed their associate in arts degree or associate in science degree. So for an upper level transfer, you have several steps. There's the application fee. You would send official transcripts from any other college that you attended, and you're going to want to send your official transcript from your high school, especially if it contains that foreign language that's required for admission. Many students complete those 2 years of the same foreign language in high school, so even though the college you're currently attending may have that on your records, you need to go back and have your high school send it as well. Any exam credit, if you have credits from AP exams or CLEP exams or special programs in high schools, then you need to contact that issuing institution and have that sent over as well. I don't think we have any international applicants on the line, so I'm going to go over, but know that there are some requirements for that as well. Now, those of you that may have applied to USF in the past, know that you do need a new application. Your application is only active for 1 year. If it's been less than a year, and Jacoby can add more on this later, you may need to make some changes to the application, and that would require some forms as well. So we'll talk about that. So upper level transfer, which is 60 credits or more, or a completed associate's degree, must have a minimum of a 2.0 requirement from your degree or your college credits. You have to have completed 67% of all the classes you've registered for. So that's known as your completion ratio. I know at SPC, you can find that in your My SPC, especially in your financial aid section. Students need to submit the current transcript for consideration for acceptance, but then you need to send a final transcript with your grades posted from any courses that you're currently attending. So if you were to apply today, the university would see all the classes you're currently enrolled in, but then they'll also want to see what those final grades are. If you are going to be awarded a degree upon completion of these classes, then you're going to make sure you submit it not only with your final grades, but with that final degree posted as well. Know that USF will not award an admissions decision if you have more than 1 semester of credits left. So I'll give you an example. If you are currently at St. Petersburg College and you are planning to apply to be admitted for fall 2022, then you actually want to wait until this semester is completed so your grades are shown, and you want to have your final semester of courses registered for, which means if you are not going to take summer classes, I would suggest applying maybe in January. So it shows the spring classes that you're enrolled in and completion of your fall classes. If you are planning to take summer classes, then you want to wait until your spring grades are posted and they can see your summer classes that you've registered for. Some of the majors at USF are considered selective admissions, which means not only do you just have to have an overall GPA to be accepted, but there are certain courses and maybe a certain GPA that that program is looking for. You can find a list of all selective admissions programs on the transfer requirement website. I'll give you an example. That would be a business transfer. All of the business programs are considered selective admissions. The GPA is going to be a little bit higher, and I want to say it's a 2.75, but I thought it was listed on this slide, so we'll look it up. And there are also 7 state mandated courses that are required for a business major. So if you are in the midst of your AA at SPC, you would work with your advisor to make sure courses like macro and microeconomics, statistics, applied calculus, financial and managerial accounting, and computer applications are all included in that associate's degree. As I mentioned before, if you earned any college credits from an organization outside of the institution that you're currently attending, you would need that institution to submit your test scores or proof of credit. So the issuing agency, I'll say, for those credits needs to send an official record. So if you took AP exams in high school, you would reach out to the AP board to be able to send those test exams, those test scores to USF. If you were part of an international baccalaureate program in high school and earned credits for that, or an ACE program, you would need to have those original test scores and transcripts sent from those institutions, just like you probably did to send them to SPC. CLEP examinations, military credits, any type of credit that was earned outside of the community college or the institution you're attending. Sorry, a couple of my slides are missing. When you go to the application process, you're basically going to indicate what level of degree you're pursuing. You're going to select your major, and you're going to select your campus. So USF has 3 campuses. We have USF Tampa, USF St. Petersburg, and USF Sarasota Manatee. You'll choose that during the application process. Going to go through the exact application. I want to pull up, okay, there is one page on the application that's going to ask you if you're a PATHe student or a FUSE student. So you definitely want to indicate that on the application, and that just identifies you as participating in these programs while you are at your institution. So we can follow that along with your application. Both PATHe and FUSE will continue to monitor your progress as you're at USF, so you definitely want to indicate that on your application. Again, we're going to move through this. Residency. I just want to give everybody a little bit of information about residency because it has been, it has come up with a little confusion. If you are under 24 years of age, then you will be claiming your parents' information to prove Florida residency if you are a Florida resident. So when you click yes, I am claiming Florida residency for tuition purposes, and you're under 24, there will be a section for you as the student to put in information, and then there will be a section for the claimant, and that will be your parent or guardian's information. And typically you're using a voter registration ID, a vehicle registration, or a driver's license. You need at least 2 forms of identification to show that you are a Florida resident. So again, if you're under 24, you're typically going to use a parent or a guardian. There are some circumstances where someone under 24 may be independent and use their own, so you definitely want to read all the details. If you've been in the military, if you're married, if you're a parent, then those circumstances may put you as independent and you would use your own information. But the majority of students transferring in directly with their AA following high school will typically use a parent or guardian's information. If you're coming from SPC, there's a very simple way for you to request your official SPC transcripts. You would go into your My SPC and then click on your My Academics. On the left-hand side, you'll see a list of links, and you'll scroll down to transcripts, and then just click Request Official Transcripts. That way this pop-up will come up, and you can list your transcript type. As you see, I've got hard copy here. There is a $5 charge if you're going to send a hard copy of your transcript. If you click on the drop down, you can choose electronic, and there is no fee for that. You can send when you want to send your transcripts. So this indicates as soon as possible. So if I was applying today, I would want to send them as soon as possible, but then I would go back in and click the drop down and choose when my grades are posted or when my degree is posted, if that's going to happen towards the end of the semester. So you can actually do all of those at the same time, and SPC will send the transcripts over when those actions occur. Before Jacoby jumps in, because I seem to have downloaded the wrong slide, I also want to talk about, we talked about levels of transfers. Unless Jacoby, you want to add that with your presentation. I did have a slide that talked about mid-level transfers. So I just wanted to share a little information on that. Jacoby, do you want to do that, or would you like me to do that? 2.5.
You can go ahead. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I also wanted to add some students, a lot of students do wait at their community college or state college to complete their associate's degree, but there is another level of transfer, which is a mid-level transfer. If 30 credits or more have been earned, students can apply to transfer at that point. You will still need to submit ACT or SAT scores for consideration, but the scores needed to transfer over as a mid-level transfer are not quite as high as a first-time in college student. So a lot of students don't realize that maybe after a year at their state institution, they can actually transfer over. So I just want you to know the possibilities and find what's right for you. I have a lot of students that do decide, you know what, I'm going to get my freshman and sophomore year done at my institution and then transfer over for my junior and senior. And that's probably the most common, and we refer to that a lot as the 2+2 plan. But if you are really anxious to get to the university sooner, I suggest you talk with either a transfer admissions counselor or contact your PATHe counselor, and we can talk to you and look at your specific transcripts and see what the best plan is for you. So I'm going to ask Jacoby to kind of jump in now and talk a little bit more about other resources that are available for students that are interested in transferring, including the Office of Transfer Student Success.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we've really turned to kind of a one-stop shop for transfer students at USF. And really, our biggest thing for current transfer students, once you get to USF, whether it's you've been here for a year and you're having some trouble in a class and you want to find an academic service for you, or you want to find a club or organization to gain some leadership experience, or whether you're a new transfer student and you want to learn it all. We're really here for that. We had a transfer student just last week contact us. They're about to graduate and they weren't sure how to do that. So really, if there's any barrier or issue, or you need to connect with someone and you're not sure who, we try to be those middle people for you so we can do that. But we offer a number of things. So we have a transitions course. And so once you actually start at USF, you can enroll in our transitions course. It's 3 credits. It goes to counts as one of your electives at USF, and really just kind of helps set up the landscape for USF as far as how to be involved, how to be successful, some good tips. And it's just a great class to come in if you're a new transfer student, you don't know much about USF or the Tampa area, or maybe you have been here for a while and there's just things you still want to learn and explore. The transitions course is great because you get that experience. You get to connect with transfer students directly that could mentor you. And we just try to connect you to campus and help set you up for success. We also do advising, so that's probably our biggest thing. We have 2 academic recruiter advisors. I'm one of the 2. So we advise all transfer students. We travel to SPC, HCC, South or Polk State, a bunch of state colleges that around us. But we advise international students, students from out of state. Last year alone, Sean and I advised over 10,000 students. And so, and whether that's on kind of some of the things that Sandy was talking about as far as, all right, what do I need for this major? As a mid-level, am I going to be able to be accepted? Can you look at my transcript and see if these classes are equivalent to the prereqs? Because you'll notice sometimes based on what schools that you go to that course codes are different. So a calculus at a state college or another university might have a different name and course code at USF. So we can let you know if it's actually equivalent or not before you actually go through the application process. We advise a few transfer student organizations. We have Tau Sigma under us. We have TSO, which is the transfer student org. It's like the third largest organization on campus, really just for transfer students to find community and do events and programming together. We have a Fuse program that we've talked about as well too. So if you're in Fuse, you know about that and the benefits you get of one, getting everything you need for the major that you want at USF beforehand so that you can get that guaranteed transfer, meaning that if you complete everything you need, then you're able to get into that. But it's cool because you get the social aspect. You're able to come to any events on campus, join specific clubs. You get a discount on the rec center pass, just some things like that. Professional workshops, some advisors we can connect you to. And then we have a mentorship program. You'll see different mentorship programs at each campus. And so for the mentorship program in our office, it's just the team. And so it's really what they have is just upper level transfer students who've been at the university for at least a semester who just want to mentor, give tips and their feedback on their experience and help new transfer students thrive at the university. But really, we're here for anything that transfer students need.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacoby.
Yeah.
Christine, do you want to share a little bit about your transfer experience? What was it like for you when you transferred over?
It was definitely intimidating. The school that I transferred from, Lake Sumter State College, is a very, very small school comparatively to SPC. I know they have multiple campuses, so I was really, really nervous coming to a big university. But I was also relieved in the fact knowing that St. Petersburg campus is not necessarily as big as the Tampa campus is, so I wasn't as worried about being super overwhelmed. I do on occasion have classes in the Tampa campus, which is nice to be involved on that campus as well now that we're one USF. But I really, really, really enjoy the St. Petersburg campus. It's just a really small, intimate campus. Everybody knows everybody for the most part. If you're involved, you know, everybody knows who you are. All the staff knows who you are. You know everybody, and it's just, you know, the professor to student ratio is 19-to-1, which I really, really, really liked. I have enjoyed my classes on the Tampa campus, but the campus for me can be a bit overwhelming because it's huge. So again, the St. Pete campus has just been like a perfect place for me to continue my education. As I said, I'm graduating in December, which is super exciting. Most of my time at USF was virtual due to the pandemic. So I'm grateful that I was able to be involved with USF, and due to the pandemic and the world shutting down and me losing my job, I was able to get more involved on campus. So I'm a peer coach and orientation leader, as is Barbara. So we hang out quite a bit, and those opportunities really gave me experiences that I would not have had at my previous job to help me moving forward in my career. So I'm actually working at Also Youth in Sarasota, which is a youth center for LGBTQ plus youth. I hope to found one day a nonprofit for LGBTQ plus youth in St. Petersburg. So it's a really awesome opportunity for me to get to know my field and what I'm doing. And I also have that job moving to full-time once I graduate. So USF has really done a phenomenal job at preparing me for a job professionally as opposed to working in a restaurant, which I was before. So I'm super grateful for all of the opportunities that I've had through this pandemic, and, you know, tried to make the most of a bad situation, living home by myself, I could have felt really sorry for myself, but I decided to take, the higher road per se and, make the most out of it and kind of throw myself into something that was out of my comfort zone. And it really, really, really helped me to evolve into the person that I am today and ready for my career moving forward.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, Christine is involved in so many things and it's awesome. And the university, though we're very excited for you, really gonna miss you when you graduate. Barbara, can you share a little bit about your experience as a student at USF?
Yeah, so it's very similar to what Christine was talking about. I just loved how small this campus was and how everybody really knew each other and was kind of a community. I am personally, my involvements on campus, I have a peer coach, orientation leader. I also work at career services, which I love doing because it helps people in like their most stressful times. If they're feeling like they need to change majors, or if they're feeling like they don't know how to get a job, or how to even simple things like writing a resume. It's very, very difficult. So I love helping students do that. And then I am also part of student government. I am on the Supreme Court, which is really cool because I have a say in kind of what other students experience and represent students on there, and get to see trials and our statutes and things. So any changes, I always talk to students about any changes that they'd like to see. And I propose it in front of student government because they're really the ones who are on top of all that, Yeah, my experience on the St. Pete campus has been very interesting so far because of the pandemic. My first semester was interesting because I was also in an apartment style dorm. We all had our own rooms, so like no one was really in the mood to like talk or like be best friends as roommates, even though I did have roommates. And so it's gotten a lot better now with in-person events and me moving into my own apartment, subtle brag. And that's been really cool. So yeah, that's been my experience as a student so far.
Awesome. I have a couple of questions for both of you. First of all, let's see, Christine, can you explain what a peer coach is and how did you get that job?
Absolutely. A peer coach is going to be your first friend on campus. So because I'm a transfer, I am a transfer peer coach. So I specifically work with incoming transfer students. So I have a bunch of students that I reach out to throughout the semester and just kind of am there for them as a resource. So if they're having any issues in their classes or in life or need to access resources that we have on campus, because we have a ton of them. It's tough to know where to go, especially when you're new to campus. So your peer coach is there, to help you maneuver all of the resources that we have on campus. We have a student success center, which offers free tutoring. We have a wellness center, which offers free group and individual therapy to students. We have really ridiculous amount of resources on campus, and the peer coaches are there to connect you with other students on campus and those resources to make sure that you are prepared to succeed on our campus. And if you need help along the way or hit any roadblocks, we're there to help you through those adversities.
Awesome, thanks. Barbara, do you want to talk a little bit about being an orientation leader?
I would love to. Orientation leaders kind of do orientations, presentations for incoming students. We do transfer orientations and first year orientations. So transfer students have their own orientation. That's a little bit different, but still very important and very thorough. I met my first two friends on campus in my orientation, even though it was virtual. So it definitely is an opportunity more than anything to meet other students, especially because in orientation you notice which major has who, what like majors go with people, and so getting to know people who have your same major is super important, and is kind of a way to make friends or see the people that you're going to be in classes with. We're getting to do in-person orientations very, very soon, which is so exciting. It's so fun. It's going to be so great. And basically, we do the orientation sessions. We do little activities like icebreakers at the beginning to get to know each other. And yeah, it's really just the opportunity to connect with people on campus for the first time.
Awesome. So do you both volunteer with these positions, or do you get paid for them?
They are paid positions. The applications for peer coach and orientation leader are as one, and they are currently open until November 1st. So we are accepting new applicants, and transfer students absolutely can apply. They can be transfer peer coaches as well as orientation leaders. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I want to open it up to our guests. Those of you that tuned in tonight, feel free to unmute your mic, or if you have questions in the chat for any of us, Jacoby, myself, Christine, or Barbara, do you have any questions or concerns just about starting at a new school or the transition to go from one school to the other?
I'll just throw this out there since we don't have any questions. Something that I was really, really excited about, I'm not sure how SPC is with like sporting events or anything, but I was super excited to be involved in like the sports that happen at USF. We don't have many sports that are housed on the St. Pete campus, but we are all one USF. So students receive free tickets to sporting events, and just really being proud that I'm, a member of a university that is like recognizable in the public. Whereas before, where I was wearing my university things, everyone was like, well, what's that? What does that mean? USF is known. It's something that, you can be proud of and that people recognize. And it's really just been an incredible community, super, super accepting, diverse, and really, really smart kids.
That's great. I do want to make note, Jacoby corrected me in the notes. Thank you very much, Jacoby. So the College of Business admission GPA is 2.5, not 2.75. Does anybody want to share what major they're thinking of pursuing as far as the students that tuned in tonight from SPC? We have a quiet crowd tonight.
My major is criminology, but I do have a question from going back to when we were talking about the deadlines and like the transcripts. You said something about if we're taking summer classes for SPC, I believe, that we should wait to send the transcripts until January. I think that's what you said, if I'm understanding correctly.
Right. Are you looking to transfer for next fall?
No, so that's what I was going to say, is that I'm going to be completely done in December. So I don't.
This December.
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to start at USF in January?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so the deadline for this spring, and January classes would be considered the spring, is actually November 1st. So
okay.
that's within the next couple of weeks. So okay. I would say this weekend, you want to get online and do the application this weekend, and definitely reach out to your PATHe counselor and let us know once you've completed that application so we can kind of follow it along on our side.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you'll send your transcript now with your courses that you're enrolled in. And then once the semester's done, you'll send a copy. And like I said, you can order them both now, but you can say you want an electronic transcript to go over now and then go back in and order one when your grades are posted. And will your degree be posted in December as well?
It's that an email said January, I think, is when they're going to send the degrees out.
Okay, but But the classes you're taking now will finish out your AA degree.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yep.
Okay.
So you'll definitely want to make that November 1st deadline.
So to add to that for you, I just want to congratulate you first on graduating with your AA. You're
Thank you.
halfway there. And then if you are registered for the fall, or for the spring, you will get to complete orientation with myself and Barbara. So we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Okay. I look forward to seeing you guys too. Familiar faces.
That's great. Any other questions? Anyone else that's looking to transfer as soon as this spring? Nope, we've got a lot of quietness. Okay, well, Jacoby has put his email in the chat. You all received emails from me, probably a few times, about tonight's event. We are really all here just to make sure. Oh, Christine, thank you. Christine has added hers in the chat as well. Again, we are very sincere in just saying that we're here to help you succeed. So we're really familiar with USF. Christine and Barbara are students on the St. Pete campus. Jacoby knows so much about the Tampa campus, and we are one USF. So there are plenty of resources here. Please take advantage of it even before you transfer over, because we want it to be a really positive, smooth experience for you. If no one else has any questions, I'm going to let y'all go and have dinner. And just thanks again for tuning in tonight, and just let us know if there's anything we can help you with. So thank you, SPC students. Thanks, Jacoby and Christine and Barbara, for helping tonight. And I look forward to seeing everybody in person.
Thank you guys.
Good night.
Bye.